Hello. Hello, everyone. How's it going? Hey, Tina. Hey, Tiffany. Hey, Mary. Hello, Miss Tawanda. All right, guys, I'm not going to hold y'all long. So, for those of you all watching the replay, or as you're filing in, this is your first time here, welcome. Thank you very much for stopping by. Here at this channel, we help you lead a whole and healed, peaceful, and prosperous life. This is Lisa with Heart of Inspiration. And to my continued supporters and subscribers, thank you very much and welcome. So, hello, Nita. Hello, Janelle. Hey. I love seeing y'all out for a little astrological discussion tonight. So, we are really going to get into some things. Now, as my good friend Armand says, last night we had a brief discussion about Libra season and where we're at with Libra season and putting ourselves above the needs of others and doing it in such a way that we don't feel that it's inauthentic. Okay? That we know, yes, this is what we're supposed to be doing. Tonight, what we're going to talk about, and I should probably bring up on my phone because I'm still in the midst of setting some stuff up, y'all. So bear with me because I want to be able to see your comments. I'm not going to be able to see them in a hot second. Tonight, what we're going to talk about, because I didn't really discuss it before, is we're going to talk about the fact, I told you last night, there's more to it than just a few things I discussed. And that there's other planets coming into and energies that is being made manifest, if you will, if I could take a biblical colloquial terminology. Other things that are being made manifest. And that these other energies are going to play a role. And whoop-de-bam-woom, here we go. Now, I don't know about y'all. Hey, SR, I want to continue to speak to everybody. Hey, DD. Hey, Sagittarius. Saturn went direct earlier today, I believe, or late last night. And around the same time, Mercury came into Scorpio. So I'm going to bring it and break it back down a little bit so you can understand why these things are important. Okay, but before I go any further, you'll notice down on the bottom of the screen, you're going to see over here, patreon.com. So those of you that would like to, I'm beginning to ramp up my Patreon page. This weekend, I think we're actually going to get in on Sunday morning. We're going to get into some fairly deep conversations, and some astrological conversations along with how we can truly apply it to our relationships, the relationship with ourselves. I want to start talking about ascension and true ascension and enlightenment. So we'll start talking about that this Sunday on Patreon. There's some things I like to go deeper in I can't share here. So that's going to be on patreon.com. Heartofinspiration.net is where you can go and get like the lunar readings. The full moon reading is up still, 1995. The full moon is on October 13th, and we'll probably be talking about that on Saturday. I may take tomorrow night off. We'll probably talk a little bit about that on Saturday, what we can begin to expect. I'd like to get that a week out. And as always, please consider subscribing, liking, and please do share everywhere as we grow this channel, because this is important information we need to get out. So now I've done my housekeeping, and you can always donate to the channel, Super Chat, PayPal, or Cash App. Now everything is out in the open. So let me talk about the subject at hand, and let me bring a couple things up so you all can see it. Bear with me. Okay. So we see the chart here. Okay, we see the chart here. The wheel is going to be, it should be to your left. All right. Hey, S. Marie. Hey, Dawn. Should be to your left. And then there's a smaller chart over to your right that's got where the current planets are. And let me start just beginning to tell you why this is so important. So I'm going to roll this back. This is how we understand things from an astrological point of view. Now, let me get my little handy dandy drawing pen. All right. Now, here we have, where are we? Here we are all the way over here. This is the chart as of where all the planets are as of just a few moments ago. Over here is Capricorn. Now, if you want to start to understand what a astrological chart, what I'm talking about, how I'm getting all this information in addition to just what the download is as far as from spirit is concerned, we have to understand certain basic things. You all know we have sun signs, right? And that's what we typically go by. So, like, if somebody says, ooh, if I say I'm a Cancer, that's going to say certain things to you guys, right? It's going to give you certain characteristics. It's going to say, oh, she's very concerned very much about home life. She's very into making her home nice and accommodating. She's very maternal. All of these things. She's a starter. She's an initiator. It's all of these things that we're going to see. Hey, Google user. Hi, honey. So, your sun sign, if you've ever studied anything, I mean, probably most of us on here read a horoscope every now and again. If you've looked at it every now and again. By the way, if you would like your natal chart actually interpreted, you can go to heartofinspiration.net, $20, and we will do an intuitive astrological natal chart interpretation. So certain sun signs have certain characteristics, right? Zodiac signs. So when I first look at something like this, I want to know, okay, well, what is that particular sign? And I'm not going to go into the houses and all of that for this discussion. But why this is so critical, why this is such a drastic transit, a very powerful transit is this. The sun sign of Capricorn means certain things, okay? It has certain characteristics. Capricornians, I mean, you can think of it yourself. If you want to put that in the chat, you can. So Google user is a Cap. Oh, Janelle asked me, do I prefer sidereal or tropical? Tropical, definitely. Tropical, definitely. So Google user as a Capricorn. So tell me, and I'm not going to go into the moon and the rising right now. But as a Capricorn, she's very practical about a lot of things. She's an earth sign, so she's going to take a little bit more time and consider things. Very stable. She likes stability. She's about her coin, though. She's about that coin. Don't get me wrong. Capricorns can also be rather stubborn. Capricorns are good leaders, though, too, because it's all the sign of Capricorn has a lot to do with kind of foundational governmental type things. It is like, how do you believe you're at a foundational level, right? What do you believe about yourself? What do you believe about your career? Like, it's very third dimensional in nature. Government, foundation on a global scale. Rulers, that type of thing. So Capricorn is about. Its planet is Saturn. In Saturn, you study the mythology of Saturn. You study the mythology about the planets. You'll understand the characteristics of the energy of the planets. Saturn is like, it's one of the gods, right? So Saturn, again, foundational. It's a big planet. It's a slower moving planet. It's a ruler. Okay? It's a ruler. It's going to come in and say, this is how things are going to be done. Right? It's going to dictate social mores, how you operate, right? Everything's got to be decent and in order. I'm a Capricorn rising. So I present myself, and you'll see, like, a lot of times when I'm on here, I'll be like, things got to be decent and in order. Y'all can't be acting up. Right? So understand, that's the sign that we're talking about right now. Pluto here, let me get a different color. Pluto here has been hanging out in Capricorn for a while, and it's been in retrograde. But Pluto today went direct, and it's starting to move this way, right? Towards Aquarius. We'll talk about that later. Pluto, follow me, is a transformative planet. It is an outer planet, which means it is more, it spans a lifetime or a generation or generations. It's more global changes, not very internal, really kind of global, but it's going to ask you to change. It's going to ask you to look at where you are right now and see where you should be going. It is a kind of an underworld, underbelly. It wants you to go deep down in, and it's an intense change. If you look at different pictures of Pluto, it's not always going to look the same. It's very interesting. Neither will Neptune. Another story for another day. Pluto also, though, being the underworld, is the ruler of Scorpio, right? Ruler of Scorpio. Saturn is the planetary ruler of Capricorn. So if you study the mythology of Saturn, the Roman and then the Greek mythology of Saturn, you'll understand the energy of that planet. If you study the mythology of Pluto, you're going to really understand that planet and then that sign. Now, Pluto does not give you a choice about whether or not transformation. It throws that transformation out there, and it wants you to go deep with it. Not just a little surface, I'm going to change the color of my lipstick today transformation. I'm going to look like a whole new person. Or I'm going to go buy a new wig today, and I'm going to be a whole new person. Right? It is oh no, we're not going to just put on the wig and put on the lipstick. But what else are you going to change? Are you going to change your attitude towards yourself? Are you going to change how you present yourself to other people? How you interact to other people? What kind of drastic change can we make to become something new? I have to drink that tea and everything because I'm still fighting off the cold so that I could continue to talk. Now, Pluto is looking for metamorphosis. I think that's the best way to put it. Let me put, oh shoot. Okay, here we go. Morphosis. It's looking for metamorphosis. It's saying you are a caterpillar today, and it's about time for you to bust out your cocoon and become that butterfly. It wants upheaval change. And it is sitting direct in a foundational cardinal earth sign. Also, within this cardinal earth sign, what else do we have here that doesn't show? We have the south node, the moon south node. What does the South Node represents? How we've always done a thing. So I want us to put this all together right now. We're in a time frame. I'm going to just put that piece together, and then we're going to tie the other piece into it with Mercury in Scorpio. We are in a moment in time now, and we're going to be in this moment for a hot second, so just get ready. Like, don't think this is one of them little lunar transits where, you know, today over here we got the moon is chilling in Sagittarius today, and it's going to make its way all throughout the signs until it gets to Aries shortly on the 13th. It's only going to take about a week to get to, a little over a week to get over there to Aries. It moves. The moon is, so if your emotions, you know, they go, you know, your emotions flow. We're talking about a long transit. The outer planets take a long time to go through signs. This isn't something that just happens just overnight. So this is going to be this way for a second. Saturn will be in Capricorn through January-ish, somewhere in there. Pluto going to be chilling for a hot second too. It's at 20 degrees, so it's moving now. But for a while now, for a time, we're going to have our foundations rocked. Everything that foundationally we have been doing on a regular basis, and that's the South Node stuff, right? We gotten comfortable in doing certain things, certain ways, decent and in order. Pluto is now saying there's a different decent, there's a different order, and it's time for you to elevate yourself and transform yourself to the new thing. You can no longer be stuck here. You cannot. We have no time for this anymore. It is time for you to step into your true power and purpose. And it's time for you to release old ideas about yourself and what role you play in the world. What role you play in your purpose. It's time to look at it all over again. Hello, Afro Nightly. Oh, thank you, dear. Thank you so much. Thank you. I love Miss Shonda. Ooh, child, you an Aries North Node, Libra South Node, just like me. So, it's time for us to change the foundational things and doing things the same way we've always been doing it. And I have been saying this so much. You cannot say I haven't been preparing you all for this. And now we're here. And now it's like, guess what? I'm going to give you a little push, and I'm going to give your battery a little extra juice so you can change. Because all those things you've been doing all this time, it's time for you to examine and say, this ain't been working. If I really analyze my life, that ain't worked. That ain't worked. That ain't worked. I thought it would. It was comfortable. Our South Node stuff. And you can go to Shonda's channel, Shonda Esoteric. Shonda Rise Esoteric. She does a lot of node stuff. A lot of node conversation. A lot of node teaching. Our South Node is what we've been comfortable doing all this time for many, many lifetimes. When the global South Node is where it's at here, okay? When the global South Node is where it's at, this is now saying, collectively, everybody, our foundations got to change. Our structures have to change. How we move has to change. What we put our faith in, if you will, has to change. How we've operated. This is why you see such a great upheaval right now in government, especially ours. Ooh, Jesus. We're not going to talk about that. And this is why you see a lot of people that have been in power for a long time and are part of the machine. When I lived in Chicago, it was the machine. That are part of the machine. Now all their secrets are starting to come out, or they're about to. And they want to divert attention away from that. Because if the secrets come out, the structure topples. Because now everybody can see all the ish they've been doing all this time. So I'm going to bring it back to us. I'm not going to get on that level. If I bring it back to you, what have you been doing all your life that everybody else says this is what you should be? Because remember, Capricorn is about this social moray, this is how we operate, this is how we do things. You wear a certain length of skirt in church, you do, you know what I'm saying? You don't wear a short skirt to work so that everybody can see where your grandkids finna come from. Do you see what I'm saying? That kind of thing. Still don't do that. But my point is this. What things foundationally have you been doing all your life in your operation, in your day-to-day and overall life scale operations that really honestly, they've been cool, it's been all right, it's done its duty, but what has it really profited you to continue to do things in this way? A. B. The world is changed. It is undergoing its own grand transformation. There is a reason why people are leaving organized religions, all organized religions, and they're seeking out spirituality on a broader scale. Why? Because the foundation of how we operate spiritually, excuse me, is changing. It's evolving. The literal frequency of the earth and its people is changing. It has to. It is evolving. We are going to the next step in our human evolution towards a spirit-led lifestyle. And those that choose to move in that way will then transform into people that operate spiritually first and see with their third eye first and not their two eyes first. That before the thought can really get formulated in your physical brain, it has already happened in your spiritual brain. Are you following me? This is why it feels like everything around you seems like it's getting shaken the frick up. And let me tell you, it got shook the heck up today, baby. Now, if you don't think that really Spirit is talking to you and trying to tell you something, let me show you what else is going on. We're going to go over here and we're going to look at where Mr. Mercury is. Mr. Mercury is at 0 degrees. Just came in today. Hot off the press. Hey, Vernell. At 0 degrees, Scorpio. Lord, help us all. Help us all. What is Scorpio about, guys? Scorpio is a fixed water sign. Scorpio is an ice cube. Scorpio is like, this is how we should feel about it. This is what I know spiritually about it. Pluto is its ruler as well as Mars. Scorpio is like, I gotta keep moving. I gotta keep transforming. I cannot, even though Scorpio is fixed, it's an interesting fixed sign because Scorpio will get fixated on the transformation. Thank you, moderators. Scorpio will get fixated on the transformation. Scorpio doesn't necessarily get like an earth sign fixed where it's completely fixated on something to the point where it can't move. Scorpio gets fixated on man, I gotta change this. I got to move. We got to change. This isn't satisfactory to me. I know there's something more because it's a water sign. In tune, very in tune spiritually. What is Mercury? Mercury is the messenger. If you study the mythology of Mercury, remember, guys, every time when I talk about a planet and a sign, when we do our Astrology 101, we talk about a planet, we're going to talk about the sign. We have to understand the mythology about the planet so we understand the energy of the planet. We already have a pretty good understanding of the characteristics of the sign. We put these things together and then intuitively, or even not intuitively, you can begin to see how the interaction happens and how they play with each other. So now Mercury the messenger has rolled on into Scorpio, while Scorpio's home ruling planet is up here in Capricorn. What is this saying to me? This says to me, Spirit is speaking. So not only on a foundational earthly level are you sensing the energy of transformation, and that everything you've been doing before just ain't working no more, and I got to change it, and I have to grow. Because we're growing towards Aquarius, we're going towards purpose, we're going towards large scale, impacting others, impacting the world, our world, and the world. And now the messenger is coming in from the sun saying, yeah, I'm finna tell y'all exactly what the sun has been saying, what we're supposed to be shedding light on, and we about to go deep. Scorpio is deep. Scorpio is intense. Scorpio is deep and Scorpio is intense. Scorpio does not play. When you get messages like this this is not a request, so to speak. This is spirit demanding an audience and saying, okay, now I done gave you all this time to figure this out. Hey, Deanna. Like an embalmer within Scorpio. Yes. Now, Spirit, now God is saying, I'm delivering some messages and I'm going to tell you exactly where it is on a deep level, on that deep, intense, you didn't want to see that darkness level. On that, let me tell you what you've been thinking and how it's been wrong. Let me tell you what you've been thinking and how it needs to transform. And not how you've been feeling, how you've been talking to Spirit, how you've been walking with Spirit, how your intimate relationship with Spirit is, how that needs to change so that you can change yourself on your most basic root chakra level. on your most basic root and sacral chakra level. Because before you can move into a fixed Aquarian energy, before you can move where your speech, your thought, your intellect, so to speak, your spiritual intellect can move into this fixed Aquarian where we got it set up the way it needs to be set up. We got to shake the foundation up, rearrange it, and rebuild it. That's the reason this is all happening during Libra season right now. Because during Libra season is the time we can use our mouth, our voice, to plant the seeds necessary to grow. We can add the energy to the transformation so that by the time we learn all of our lessons, when we get around here, because here's the sun is chilling all the way back here, 10 degrees, daggone Libra. I mean, the sun is like, ooh, I'm just going to watch it all. I done sent Mercury ahead, gave him the message, I done moved Pluto on out the way, let's get it going. So now, as we're going around the corner here, we coming around the bend, here we go. We coming around. By the time we get here, where it's fixed thought, we have a fixed thought life. I suggest that we have figured out what's in our underbelly. I suggest we have learned how to have the conversation this way. I suggest we do. Hey, Mary. Because the messenger is saying how you have chosen or how you have operated emotionally and spiritually up until this time. I'm about to show you how that needs to change and transform. And I'm about to show you all of what's happening over here in your foundation. I'm about to show you how your foundation needs to change. I'm about to show you new ways to make money, new ways to bring abundance to you, new ways to operate decent and in order, because it's a new decent and in order now. It's an elevated decent and in order. It's not just about how you dress, how you talk, how you walk. It's not just about what church you go to, what religion you are. It's not just about that. It's not about whether or not you got long hair, curly hair, or whatever. All that is temporal. All that is changeable. You can even change your skin color if you want to. You can pop a contact in and change your eye color. It's not about that. It's about who are you really at your root. What do you believe really at your root? How are you operating spiritually from your roots? And when you transform that, when spirit life, being spirit-led, becomes your modus operandi, when being spirit-led first becomes how you walk your walk and how you think your thoughts, then you're doing something. Then you're moving in the spirit. Then it doesn't matter what's going on around you. It doesn't matter if the government's getting shaken up. It doesn't matter if the economy looks like it's going to get shaky. It doesn't matter if it looks like your job is potentially in peril. It doesn't matter if you can't seem to Find people that ain't toxic to be in relationship with. It doesn't matter how your family takes it. It doesn't matter any of that. Because you are walking a purpose. Because you are walking according to the Spirit. There's a verse in the Bible that says, renew your mind with the washing of the word. I quote that a lot. We have taken that in the church to say, renew your mind with the washing of the word, and and then we relate that. We say that's the word of God, right? Great, fine. However, can you understand that you are divine in and of yourself? You're not supreme God, but you are a God. God calls you that in the Bible and in many other texts. You are divine. This is getting us to a point where we are beginning to finally comprehend our flipping divinity. Now get outside yourself in Libra season and rise up in your divinity. Mercury was hanging around the sun down here for a little while. Mercury has been traveling with the sun for the vast majority of the first half of the astrological year. Traveling, right there with it. And Venus as well, right there with it. Full of love, full of this, full of that. And it's been gathering a whole lot of, if you will, esoterically, messages, information. And now Mercury is like, look, I can't chill. I got to go. And so, boom, it's gone. Mercury rules Gemini as well as Virgo. And once Mercury got through Virgo and got into Libra, it started to hit its stride. It's like, I got this now. Geminis and Virgos, what do? They make a decision, they stick with it. And they think quick. Geminis will change up on you fast. My son's a Gemini. Do you see what I'm saying? So now Mercury is bringing that energy of new thought. Change. And Mercury is very insistent. That mercurial energy is it's quick. They call Mercury Quicksilver, yeah? Because it moves fast. And it's mutable. It can get in anywhere. Mercury will take the shape of whatever container it's in. And now it's coming into a fixed water sign. And it's heating it up and saying, oh yeah, let's look at what you've hidden. Let's look at all those secrets that you've hidden. Let's look at how you really don't want to see yourself. And I had some interaction today with Shonda. She won't mind me saying this. We had a very deep discussion, which is why I was a little later getting on than I wanted to. But let me tell you something. She made me look at some things internally I did not want to look at. I did not want to hear nothing she was talking about today. I called her for something completely different. And child, she made me look at myself. But that's that Scorpio energy. And she's like, I don't know why I'm being like that. I'm like, because Mercury just entered into your sign, honey. And Pluto just went direct. So come on with it. Spirit is going to send us messengers to say, change that. Look at yourself differently. Think about yourself differently. Look at your career differently. Look at your purpose differently. Look at your foundation. Is it built on what other people have said about you? Or is it built on what I have said about you? What you should be saying about yourself? Are you basing all your relationships based on other people? We talked about this last night. Libra season. Are you basing your relationships and the success thereof based on how other people feel about it? Are you putting others so far ahead of yourself that you're not getting anything out of it? Time to change that, baby. It's time to change that. Are you operating in a high level of love of self? Of appreciation of yourself? Are you operating as the God and Goddess you are? Are you operating as the divine co-creator that you are? Or are you still waiting on some external force to come along and be your savior? Ooh, I didn't mean to say that. I guess I did. Let me put it to you like this before people burn me at the stake. What I mean is this, and I'm not going to clean it up totally, but I'm going to clean it up. Thank you. Even in Christianity, Jesus said all power, right? What did he give? He gave us all power. He got it from the Father. He gave it to us. If that's the case, why do we keep on waiting? Why do we keep on looking? Why are we not speaking and creating as we have been created to do? If we are created in their image, in the Supreme's image and likeness, if we had not been told that the power resides in us, if we had not been called gods, and for the feminists in the room, goddesses, I'm not saying nothing that isn't already in the word. What I am saying is this. You have to stop looking to a man or a woman or another person or your boss or your this or your that to come along on a white horse and pull you up out of your crap. You have to stop looking to other people to validate you in who you are. Hey, Miss Surrey. Thank you, Aphrodite. Stop it. Stop it. The white knight ain't coming. Don't get offended. It ain't. They're not coming. And the more you continue to look for validation and salvation and somebody else to fix your stuff outside of yourself, and the less you take accountability and responsibility for your own crap, the longer you're going to be sitting in it. So what is this Plutonian energy doing? Going direct with Mercury coming in. What was the message that I was supposed to deliver with these energies that are here right now? The message I'm supposed to deliver is this. It's being set in front of you right now. Let me go to this other scene, y'all. I want y'all to catch it. You are being set up right now and shown. The mirror is being turned towards yourself. You are getting multiple selfies from multiple different angles, and you will be for a long time. Let me tell y'all how long. Let's see, how long will Mercury be in Scorpio? (2019). I don't want the retrograde calendar. Let me see here. We're going to find out how long, gosh darn, Mercury going to be there. I think Mercury going to be chilling there for a hot second, too. Today is October 4th. So Mercury. So it entered into Scorpio today. It's going to be retrograde in Scorpio on the 10th. For a few days in October. And it should come out by the end of October. So the remainder of this month, give or take a couple of days, be prepared to see everything you did not want to see about yourself. Not only that, be prepared to see everything you may not have wanted to see or didn't realize was there about other people, about your surroundings. It's being shown to you for a reason. And that reason is because as Pluto is in Capricorn, right? That transformation energy, you are being given the additional ability and the courage to change, the courage to grow, the impetus, the push to say, I've got to do better. I've got to get into my purpose. I've got to get into my plan. I have got to ascend and move and evolve and come into a deep, deep, intense relationship with Spirit, Creator, God, the universe, Allah. Take your pick. Beloved, you are being asked to get into that depth of an interaction where the first thing you do is speak from your spirit. That's the cardinal Libra, from your spirit in perfect balance with your purpose and who you are as an entity, as a God. Because what we set in motion during Libra season through our putting the sound out there, putting the energy out there, what we believe at a deep level from our heart and even from our very root and from our sacral chakras, what we are creating today will manifest in the very near future. And we've got to know that we 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 know what we believe and who we are, and how to hear from the Spirit, so that when we get later on in this time period, when we get to the beginning of 2020, that we have such a surety that we know when we speak, it happens. When we speak, it changes. When we speak, we're speaking in complete agreement and communication with our higher self. The thought just came to my mind. What was brought back to my remembrance was, if you think about the story of how Christ was conceived and the Holy Spirit, God came and spoke. First, the angel came and spoke, right, to Mary. And the Holy Spirit moved, brooded, rested on Mary in her very womb, and she conceived the Christ consciousness, the Christ. When your very spirit, because Mary said, Lord, well, I don't understand, but okay, is in agreement. Her physical mind did not grasp it at all. Didn't get it. Don't know how I'm going to carry a child. I've never laid with a man. But we're going to go with it at your word. Then at that moment, the Holy Spirit, which represents emotion, which represents spiritual, right, which represents Christ consciousness, represents the word, the spoken word. God represents thought. The Holy Spirit moves and broods, right? Moves, energy, motion, comes from the heart. It was spoken over her, and she believed it to the degree that God energy, creative energy, was able to move and create from a womb that had never been activated before, physically, but the womb was activated spiritually. We are being asked, are you going to be ready to activate your womb, if you will, your sacral chakra, your creative center? Are you willing to transform yourself and your foundational beliefs? Put aside what you see with these eyes, and with this brain. Are you willing to put it aside and change it and examine it and tear it down and let it be built back up, but in the right way, in love? With a love, creative, divine energy, that you are able to conceive that which man says you cannot. I'm not saying we're married, and Lord knows I'm not saying I'm finna have a Christ child. I want you to get okay. I want y'all to grab it. I want y'all to hear what I'm saying. It is an example. It is a lesson. What are you meant to birth and bring forward into this earth? What are you meant to bring forward in this earth? Personally, and then towards the rest of the world. Collectively. It's time to transform. It's time to transform our foundational concepts, our foundational thoughts, how we do, how we move, what is decent and in order. It is time to elevate to our divine nature. So much so that soon everything we say is based upon spiritual truth. And how do we know what is spiritual truth? Because we have allowed our spirit to ascend and trust and hear and listen to the messages and be willing to release anything that no longer serves us. Being willing to release it all doesn't matter. When we are ready to finally release that with which we see with our physical eye for that which we see with our spiritual eye, then and only then are we able to be spirit-led. You are going to have to get to that point. We're going to help you get there. All right, my friends. It is time for me to let y'all go. I didn't mean to talk for no hour, child, but it got good, didn't it? Listen, guys, go to patreon.com, /Heart of Inspiration. We're going to get a little bit deeper off into these things. And in fact, as I'm thinking about this, probably what we're going to get off deep into this coming weekend is what I'm seeing and hearing coming towards us for 2020 and why this message is so very important. You can be a Patreon for as little as $5 a month. I will also be putting up monthly tarot / astro, intuitive tarot, whatever, readings for the signs. We'll get that done this week. If you wish to have your own personalized lunar cycle, your full moon reading for October the 13th, you can go to heartofinspiration.net. Right there on the front page, click for the full moon reading. If you want to know how this is going to transit your own natal chart, time of birth, date of birth, and place of birth, get you your own personalized. I can just do it with your sun sign, but it gets to be highly accurate when I can do the whole. Also, if you wish to have and I did put up natal interpretations, natal chart interpretation. I do need time, place, date of birth. That is also $19.95. Yes, love spread in the aqua star water. Yes. Yeah, Afro-Nightly, you get it. You with me. You tracking. You are tracking. Okay, guys, I'm going to get on out here so I can go in and get me some rest tomorrow. Thank goodness it's Friday. If y'all have any questions, concerns, please just feel free to email me. Please like, share, and comment. And I really appreciate y'all sitting with me for this hour. And you may not see me tomorrow, but you will see me Saturday. Peace, love, blessings, and joy be unto you today, tomorrow, and for all eternity. I love you so much. Namaste, my friends. Bye-bye.